Today I want to share with you how I finish my epoxy projects. I use two products for this. The first one, it's an abrasive paste and is made with mineral oil, diatomaceous earth, beeswax and tripoli. And that will be my abrasive paste that will remove all the scratches from the sandpaper. And then I'll be using my carnauba wax finish and polish, and I'll be using these applicators to spread my product in first. Super easy. You just rub it into the wood, and if I had the sound on, you will hear the abrasion, how it has that scratchy kind of feeling. The tripoli and the diatomaceous earth, it's just an abrasive, it's crushed up rock that is very finely crushed. And when you buff this product in, they will break down into smaller particles, and it will get rid of all those marks that you made with your sandpaper. I did sand this board up to 600 grit, and normally I will do wet sanding after that. But this paste, it's very gentle on the epoxy, so we won't put scratches on it. And I'm using this small buffer just because it's easy for me to get on the edges and on that mermaid's tail. So I'm just buffing it on and removing all those fine scratches. Epoxy, it's so non-forgiving when it comes to scratches. Wood, I feel like it can hide a lot of things, but epoxy, not so much. So I am using this buffer and removing all the scratches. And of course, what you do on one side of the board, you have to do on the other side as well. And this abrasive paste is not available yet. It will be available starting with next week at www.skylarewing.store. The carnauba wax polish has been up for a while and people love it. You can use it in all your wooden projects, on your epoxy projects, and that is available now in the stores. Again, that is at www.skylarewing.store. Now, once I'm done buffing that abrasive paste, I'll take a shop towel and clean off all the excess. It should be clean. Nothing comes on the paper towel because it already broken down. And we can see we have a beautiful finish already, but we still need to seal it with our carnauba wax. So that is going to be our next step. Right now, I'm just wiping off all the excess of that abrasive paste. This board I thought was beautiful, but it ended up too thin, and not sure what I'm going to do with it. I thought about maybe cutting it into tiny pieces, making coasters out of it, but you won't make many coasters. So I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it, but it's a good project to show you these finishes. The wood I use for this one, it's olive wood. So now we're going to the carnauba wax, and just like before, we're taking one of those white applicators and just spread it onto our project. It doesn't take much, a little bit goes a long way, but this will protect our wood and the epoxy. And for buffing this carnauba wax, I decided to bring in my giant buffer just because it will go quicker. And also the pad that I'm using on this big buffer, I've used it just for carnauba wax. So that way I don't have to change pads. And the little one, I keep it for the abrasive paste. And that way I leave them on and they're there ready to go whenever I need them. So this buffing now, it warms up the carnauba wax. Carnauba wax melts at the point of 180 degrees, and it makes it more liquid by friction. It heats it up, it melts it, and it lets it penetrate into the wood, protecting the wood, make it waterproof, and just give it a really nice sheen and durable finish. And of course, it makes the epoxy beautiful as well. And then just like with the abrasive paste, we take a clean shop towel and we rub off the excess. And then we have to make sure we do not leave a fingerprint. You want to let it cool for a half hour or so for the wax to harden up and protect the board. And that is pretty much it. This is how we get a really nice result on our epoxy projects.